Hey everyone, welcome to Z's Bees. Today I'm going to put some of these sugar bricks that I made yesterday onto my hives. So just to recap, I put about a cup and a quarter of water into 20 pounds of sugar, mixed it up really good. It creates kind of this like kinetic sand, if any of you out there know that. I despise kinetic sand, but anyways, it gets the consistency of that. So anyways, I put that into the oven for about 2 hours. You can do the same thing just by letting these sit out for about a day or two. They'll harden up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and do this one-handed. These pop out and they are, they're solid. They're bricks here. So I'm going to just load these into this bucket here, and that'll give me ease of carrying it down to the hives. These will go on top of the hives, and this will supplement feed and try to get my bees through till spring. All the hives are doing good so far, but when I checked them last, it was a much nicer day. Several of them had bees already up in the stores that I had. So anyways, I'm going to load the rest of these up into the bucket, and then we'll meet you down by the hives. All right, so I just loaded this one up. It's kind of a cool thing to see. There's the cluster right here. You can still see the bees are alive. So it's really cold out. I'm gonna put one more brick on there. Actually, I'm just gonna move this one over because that's where the cluster is. So the cluster is right down there. Put my moisture pillow back on. It's only about 22 degrees, so you have to move fast. So that's the moisture pillow. Put the lid back on, and that's it. So front here, as bees take their cleansing flights, ultimately several die, there's a little bit of ventilation down here, and then they also have an upper entrance right there. So we're gonna do that on this hive over here. Let me see if I can set my camera up to show you. So this one here, there's still bees down in there moving. The cluster is not as strong, but there's still a lot of live bees down there. I'm gonna move my sugar bricks. Move that there. This one here. And this one over here. I'm gonna move this fondant over. Set this up here. This one over here is the one I'm a little worried about. Everything is frozen. I hear them in here, which is a good sign. A little bit of moisture in there. They're still holding on strong. These sugar bricks will also absorb some of the moisture that comes up. If you listen real carefully, you can see a couple moving in there. So they're still alive. Very good. Let's go check out the last one. Again, this is not something you want to be doing in this type of weather, but I want to make sure that they don't starve this time of year into March and April. That's the biggest risk factor, is your bees starving. It's not really the cold. So I have to go up and grab a couple more sugar bricks and we'll be back down. Okay, I'm a little out of breath because I just went up and down the hill. So this is the hive over here. The other three are over there. This one's over here, if you remember. This was the swarm that I caught from out at Blake's place. Had to requeen this hive, and when I did, I put a honey super on there without a queen excluder. Well, the queen is really just a awesome queen, and so she laid out the honey super. So I left that honey super on, which is a technique for overwintering in and of itself. So let's see what they have inside here. They may not have moved up yet. I have to lift this whole thing. So again, this is the moisture pillow. Still feels relatively fluffy. I don't see too many bees yet. Let's see what we're working with here. I don't hear them. Nope. There we go. When I tap it, let's see if you can hear. Not sure if you can hear that, but there's bees down in there, and here they come. You see them in there? That's what we like. Now it's really cold out. It's not good to have it open, so let's just make sure. Let's give them the food. Here you go. They're coming out to protect their hives still, even though it's cold out. I'm gonna put as much as I can. I'm actually gonna fold this back a little bit. And they're still ready to protect their hive. So again, I want that swarm, or I'm sorry, the cluster to move up. Let's put this back on. Front entrance, upper entrance is here. I put that on. Put the lid back on. And I put my stone up here. So the product that I took off is this here. This is called fondant. Essentially it looks like a pollen patty, but they don't contain a whole lot of pollen. It's really just kind of sugar. So the bees seem to really like the sugar patties or the sugar bricks better. So I'm kind of switching over to that. It's also way cheaper. Everything is looking good. Each hive is still alive. We're well into January. February, March, even March into April are really the key months. Their populations are down. If you have mite issues, that's when they really come about, because the mites essentially keep on reproducing if you had a mite load, but the bee population doesn't. So you have one that's growing, the other one that's not, and that's where you can end up losing a hive late in the season. I did oxalic acid for my mite control, got numbers down to a very manageable number, so I'm really excited. So let's just take a look around here. Just gonna pick up some of my garbage that I left. Again, here is some of the dead bees. On a warmer day, they'll take cleansing flights. That's where they go out and poop and pee, because they don't do that in the hive. The wrap on here is mainly for wind protection. If I look up here, I see a little bit of some of the moisture control. You can see some of the moisture down on the bottom here. Now, that's not the end of the world. That's why you want to kind of tilt your hives always. This hive is still doing good. This one over here, they're doing remarkably well for the low population. This is what I called my lazy hive. They just didn't really produce a lot of honey, didn't draw a lot of comb. I may requeen them this year. There you have it.